Alright, what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of After the Buzzer. I think it's episode number 4 of this series, but we start off with Saturday's games with the Milwaukee Bucks Miami Heat game number 4. The Bucks started the series at 3-0, and I think after game 3 we all knew where this series was going between the winner and the loser, and the Bucks were able to close it out by 17 points in the fourth quarter, 120-103, as the Bucks finished the sweep over the Miami Heat. We will have a what's next for the Miami Heat video coming up soon. I think that we might do one of those videos for every single team, so let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, the Miami Heat just get swept after beating this team in 5 last year. Brook Lopez was the leading scorer with 25. Giannis and Middleton both with 20 each. And then Bryn Forbes had the hot hand this whole entire series. Outscored Jimmy Butler the whole entire series. But he had 22 in game number 4. And on the Heat side, Bam had 20, Butler with only 12, Dragic with 13, Duncan only made 1 3. Nunn with 18 off the bench, and Hero with 14. But in the end, the Bucks end up getting the sweep over the Miami Heat, and it hurts me as a Heat fan, but dude, it just sucks. Moving on to the second game, Nuggets versus Blazers, game number 4 of the series. The Nuggets were leading the series, if I'm right, 2-1. So they could have either taken a 3-1 lead or the Blazers could have tied the series. And the Blazers ended up winning this game by 20 points, actually, 115-95. And Norman Powell is your screen player of the game. He led the game and the Blazers with 29 points. Dame only hit 10 points. He was 1 for 6 from 3 and 1 for 10 from the field. So the Nuggets did a good job holding him off, but it was Norman Powell and CJ McCollum who led. And also Yusuf Nurkic had 17. Carmelo had 12 off the bench. He was hot last game too, so he was a big help. But yeah, it was basically the Norman Powell show, and CJ McCollum, I guess we can throw in there, because the leading scorer for the Nuggets was only 16 points with Jokic. Campazzo had 12, and those were the leading scorers. So the Nuggets have to do a better job with scoring the ball, especially with their starters. Every single starter played terrible. MPJ, Aaron Gordon only had like 5 points. Austin Rivers had less than 10 points, so they do have to do better. But the Blazers are able to tie the series up at 2 apiece, so Game 5 is a big one. 76ers vs. Wizards is up next. Philly led this series 2-0 before coming into this game, and they would extend it to 3-0. They won by 29 points. It was just an absolute blowout. Joel Embiid just toying with the Washington Wizards. He had 36 points. Seth Curry with 15, Simmons with 14, Danny Green with 15, Tobias Harris with 20, and then off the bench, he didn't really have too many good guys, actually. But Wizards side, of course, you have Westbrook and Beal, each with 26 and 25. Gafford had 16 off the bench, but the Wizards did a good job playing. Beal was 1 for 8 from 3-point range. Westbrook was 50% from 3 in the field. He also had 12 rebounds and 10 assists, so Beal has to kind of do better because he was 10 for 26 from the field. And Raul Neto, I just realized, wow, was 1 for 12 from the field and over 6 from 3-point range. If you're over 5 from 3-point range and like 0 for 7 from the field, you kind of have to stop playing, you know what I mean? But every single starter ended up with a plus minus, so the Sixers are able to extend the lead to 3-0, and it looks like they will end up moving on to play if I do the math right, or not the math, but I think that they will play either the Hawks or the Knicks, and that game is going on literally right now. It's the fourth quarter, and the Hawks are up by 20 points, and they will, looks like, go up 3-1 in the series, so it's more likely looking like the Sixers will face the Hawks in the second round. But moving on to the last game of the day, we have the Jazz versus Grizzlies. Donovan Mitchell is back with the Jazz for this third game of the series. It was tied. It was a close game until the very end. The Jazz only won by 10, 121-111, but Donovan Mitchell was there for the Jazz when they needed him most. He had 29, Conley right behind with 27, and then you would Gobert with 15, 14 rebounds, Bogdanovich with 15. We just got news that I think Serge Ibaka will miss the game and Chris Paul will play today, so good news for the Suns as that game starts in about half an hour. But and then Clarkson at 15 off the bench. But on the Grizzlies side, of course, you have Dylan Brooks a stud with 27. He only shot 1 for 7 from 3-point range. Morant had 26, 28, but he was 2 for 7 from 3-point range. Valanciunas 0 for 2 from downtown. Kyle Anderson and Jaren Jackson Jr. each 1 for 5 from downtown. So nobody could hit a 3-point shot other than Grayson Allen, who was 5 for 8 from downtown, had 17 points. But it was not enough to beat this 1-seed Jazz team. But that will wrap up. The Bucks end up getting the sweep over the Miami Heat as the Heat are the first team eliminated. The Trailblazers tied the series up with the Nuggets at 2 apiece, and the 76ers take a 3-0 lead over the Wizards, and also the Jazz take a 2-1 lead over the Grizzlies. But that will wrap up the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. And by the way, we will have some more series coming up soon. Of course, we have After the Buzzer. I think this was episode 4 or 5, maybe 6. I have no clue. A basically recap of the days. And then we will have our podcast episodes starting. I think we'll have like one a week, like a half an hour episode with some more people on and just discussing the NBA. And then we also will have what's next for each team, which could be looking like starting with the Miami Heat. But that will wrap up the video. We will have a face cam soon because I know that is something I need to get. But hope you guys have a great day.